gorgeous? Does that funk have you feeling stuck? Have you questioning your purpose, or even yet having you asking if your best years are behind you? Girl, you have zero obligation to stay in that funk. This podcast is for women who want to get the funk out of here, who want to play bigger, ask for more, and step out of mediocrity. Imagine a life filled with lots of energy, excitement, and filled with spunk instead of that funk. This is the Unfunk Your Mind podcast. I'm your host, Crystal. Let's go! Hey, girlfriends. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Unfunk Your Mind. Here to shake it up and turn those mental frowns upside down. Yeah, let's do it. Time to get unfunked. Today, I want to catch and remove that punk who is sneakily halting your progress. And its name is Inaction. This creep's profile is the type of inaction keeping you from devoting yourself to what matters most. Don't worry. Once you find this punk, I got quite a few tips to lock it behind bars and throw away the key. And truth be told, you may want to execute this punk, but I'll let you decide. Plus, I want to keep this episode PG, so we'll just lock it away for life. Now, this inaction punk, he's keeping you in a funk and needs to be put in jail, girl. Now, imagine you're the investigative detective in this story. Looking for this creep named Inaction is hard to spot. It's sly, it's manipulative, it's downright sneaky. Sometimes it can even disguise itself. It latches on to excuses. Remember that time you didn't work on that thing most important to you because you had to leave and go pick up the kids in 30 minutes? Or that time you didn't give your undivided attention to your aspiration because you needed to clean the house first? That's this inaction creep. Oh, it has you taking lots of action, girl. But do you see how sneaky it is? Because this action is just busy action. You're busy, but you're not taking action towards the thing pulling at your heart. This punk in action, even I want to punch it in the face for you when you catch it. Oh, and don't forget to investigate those rationalizing moments. Remember that time you wanted so bad to go volunteer at your local food pantry or donate blood, and this punk started the Rolodex of rationalizations? Like, if I go give blood, then I won't be able to have drinks with my friends later. And that would ruin the fun for everyone. Or, if I do the food pantry, I might run into a bad person. And what if they harass me the whole time? Ridiculous, right? This punk can convince you over and over, time and time again, to just do it another day. Or my favorite, wait until Monday. Because that's the start of a new week and you love fresh starts, right? See, detective, this punk is keeping you funked. We've got to locate it ASAP. Now, detective, you've been given a couple of examples on how this punk is a thief of our time, a thief of our mind, and a downright villain. So once you've identified this punk, it's time to take some small steps. And I'm talking small steps because big ones put this punk in overdrive. It can step up its game in a moment's notice. So take small steps. In my examples I discussed earlier, sit down for those 30 minutes before you have to go get the kids and put meaningful actions towards that thing that matters most to you. Do this 5 days a week. Identify those 30-minute holes you can devote towards this thing. Let's get real, detective. I am sure you've accomplished lots of things in your lifetime in 30 minutes. Shoot, I bet you can get a whole workout in if you wanted. Oh, and that never clean enough house for you? A small step would be to give yourself a time frame to finish cleaning the house. So take 1 hour to clean the house and 15 minutes or 30 minutes to work on that thing you really want to work on. Or work on that thing first for 15 minutes and then spend the rest of the time cleaning. So, detective, after you have made the identification, then take baby steps around it. And after you're in this position, recruit a partner. Once this punk awakens to your antics, it will begin working overtime. So you need a partner. An ideal partner would be one who, like you, wants to zone in on their most essential endeavor. Give their undivided attention to their key aspiration. See where I'm going? Your partner is going to be your backup, your support when this punk comes at you, and vice versa. You can both cheer each other on when you're fighting this punk, and your partner can be there just to help kick its ass. Punch this punk. Now here's the thing. You might fail a couple times as you wrestle with this punk. Inaction is strong. Its fury can be overwhelming. But don't let a few of your missed punches, like when you give in to this punk and you do sit in action or you're in busy action with little hope of moving towards your aspiration, take what you've learned. Like now you know its fighting style. You know it fights back. It doesn't just go away. You know it has a fury like no other. Wow, look at all the things that you're starting to learn about this villain, this punk. So when you, and don't forget to grab your partner, go in for round 4, 5, 6, or even 100, remember you're getting closer every time to a knockout. You keep punching and kicking its ass. It's getting weaker. You will defeat and capture this punk. And once you capture Inaction and put it behind bars, congrats, you have paved the way to devote some of yourself to that thing that matters most to you, or matters most to your heart. But hold on, detective, there's still some interviews and paperwork left to fill out. Your job is not quite done after the capture. Now time for the interview. Interview yourself and describe what life will be like once you begin taking action toward this dream, toward this thing that has mattered most to you. What will life be like now that this punk is behind bars? When this dream comes to life, your future aspirations come to life, what are you feeling? What are you wearing? What are you driving? Who are you serving? What value and contribution are you sending out in the world? This interview is important, so don't skip over this step because you are the witness. To keep this punk behind bars, the interview is important. And now, the paperwork, detective. Once you capture your inaction punk, you may experience a little fear. Fear is just a cousin of inaction and likes to come out too. It may say something like, you can't work on that dream because you don't know how, or you don't know where to start. Or it might tell you that you could lose all your assets or the things around you if you go for it. But here's the thing about fear. It's all bark and no bite. You have to step up to it, grab it, and throw it to the ground. It's actually a big scaredy cat itself. It doesn't usually put up a fight like its cousin Inaction. Once Inaction is gone and locked away, and your action is directed at the thing that matters most to you, you're in your zone, and you have your partner still. Its cousin Fear is powerless. Now, detective, once you've locked up Inaction and stomped out Fear, celebrate. Celebrate every win. Pat yourself on the back because leveling up is an accomplishment and requires meaningful, intentional action. Celebrate your action, no matter big or small, because that's a win. And every time you celebrate, that punk and its cousin are getting weaker. They are dying a little each time you pose as your superhero self in the mirror. Okay, so let's recap your assignment, detective. Number 1, identify this punk in action. And don't forget, it hides. It likes to disguise itself. Step 2, take small steps. Step 3, recruit a partner. Step 4, failure is inevitable. Just learn from it. Step 5, visualize your success. Step 6, step up to the cousin Fear. Detective, you've got this. I believe in you. It's time to start fighting in action. It's time to start fighting against that busy that Mr. Punk Inaction keeps you in. And girl, it's time to start working on the things that matter most to you, the things that you're aspiring to be or to do. Let's go. It's time to make some contribution and add your value into the world. Girl, let's do this. Let's put away Inaction and let's stomp on its cousin Fear. All right, girl, it's time. Let's go. Just a reminder that this show is intended for motivational, inspirational, and educational purpose only. It is not meant to replace any type of medical or professional help. Before you go, Superwoman, I'd love it if you took a little action for me. Like, subscribe to my podcast and leave a review. Also, share the episode with a friend. And as a thank you, hit up my website, thecrystalsumner.com, thecrystalsumner.com, to grab free journal prompts. Okay, ladies, now is the time to go unfunk your mind, play bigger, and ask for more. Open the door to possibility and cancel playing small. So get up and go!